Hmm? Oh, hi! Welcome to my video. With me Kiki. In this video, we will describe a picture. Okay, let's take a look together and here is the picture.
If we look at it as a whole, this picture shows the atmosphere of the highway in the middle of the city, which is busy with residents' activities. Alright, let's start describing this image from the bottom side of the image. If we look at the bottom of the picture, there are 4 elementary school students with their 2 accompanying teachers walking on the edge of the city highway in a neat line. They also use a uniform top, which is the same yellow color with a logo on the chest. And each of them also uses a pair of colored bags. Examples include the yellow bag used by the 2 accompanying teachers, the purple color used by the 2 female students, and the red color used by the 2 male students. Looks like they are doing sightseeing activities in the neighborhood. At the back of the line, there is a female assistant teacher. Let's call her Mrs. Rina. She has shoulder-length short hair and bangs. At that time, she was wearing red pants and purple shoes. If we look sequentially from the back of the row to the front row, then in front of her there is a male student. Let's say his name is Bob. At that time, he was wearing blue pants and brown shoes. In front of Bob, there is a girl who is his classmate. Her name is Banky. She has a different skin color than the others, which is brown, and she has short hair. At that time, she was wearing a mini skirt with pink stockings and yellow shoes. In front of the Banky, there is Jack, who is a male student with glasses. He wears blue pants and green shoes. In front of the Jack, there is Lala. She wore blue pants and black and green shoes. At that time, she tied 2 pigtails in her long hair. And in the front row, there was a woman who was their second accompanying teacher. Her name is Mrs. Daisy. She wears purple pants and red shoes, and she tied it in her long hair. It was she who led their way in sightseeing activities, and it looks like they all look happy. Then at the front of their line was a man wearing a red hat, green shirt, blue pants, and shoes. He was walking his little dog on the side of the city highway too. Not far from the man in the red hat, there was a group of people who want to cross the street. Among them is a man who is a student. He wore a white shirt, blue pants, and blue shoes. He also carried a yellow bag on his back. And at that time, he was also carrying several folders in his hand. Then, in front of this student, there were 2 junior high school students. The first was a male student with a white shirt, blue pants, and a yellow backpack. And the second was a female student in her white uniform. At that time, she was wearing a purple bag on her back. And she also uses a yellow hair clip around her bangs and loose hair. And at that time, some parents were holding their children's hands when they want to cross the road. The first is a mother who wears a pink shirt, gray pants, and blue shoes. She took her daughter's right hand, who had short hair and wore a white shirt, purple pants, and shoes. And the second is a father in a blue shirt. At that time, he held the right hands of his daughter, who was on his left side. In front of the crowd of the people who want to make a crossing, there is a highway and a zebra cross. In the middle of the zebra cross, there is a traffic signal that indicates when it is time for pedestrians to cross the road. And the crossing signal is in the form of a two-dimensional image of a man wearing a yellow traffic control shirt with gray strips, complete with his hat, while holding a signal that coincidentally reads "Stop" for pedestrians. And at the far right of the zebra cross, there is also a warning signal for driving vehicles. From the picture, we can see that the highway and the city looks crowded. There is a yellow minibus driven by a bus driver with 4 passengers in the back. Then in front of the bus, there is a private green jeep driven by a man in red. Then in front of the private jeep, there is a red taxi driven by a man who is a taxi driver with 2 passengers. One passenger is a man. He is sitting next to the driver, and another passenger in the form of a child with glasses sitting in the back seat straight from the taxi driver. In the opposite direction, a man is riding a bicycle complete with safety. Looks like he is exercising in the morning. The man was wearing a yellow helmet, a purple bicycle, wearing a red t-shirt, wearing long brown sports pants and shoes, and he looks excited in his cycling activities. In front of the man cycling, there is a private blue car with an open roof driven by a man. Looks like he's going somewhere to meet someone important. And on the right, he looks happy. Then in front of him, there is a car that is the same with an open roof, only it is green and smaller in size than a blue open-top car. This private car was driven by a woman. It seemed she was a mother who was going on vacation with her 3 children. One child sat beside the wheel, and the rest sat in the passenger seat at the back of the driver. It seemed they were cool to enjoy the atmosphere of the city at that time. In front of them was a man in a green shirt, long pants, shoes, and complete with security on his body riding a red bicycle. And he seems to be enjoying his cycling trip. On the other side of the road, we can see that there are many buildings on the side of the city road, as if there was a building in the form of a cake and vegetable shop that was located straight from the crossing, and coincidentally, in front of the shop was passing by a mother who was walking while pushing a baby carriage in front of her. It looks like the mother will be shopping for daily necessities with the baby. Then, not far from the shop, on the right side of the shop, there is a three-story building that sells several goods and provides services. On the first floor is a bookstore. On the second floor, there are photo shoots and photo printing services as well as a spa. And on the third floor, there are bath rental services such as baths and sales of electrical goods in the form of lights. Unfortunately, in front of the shopyard, there are several piles of unused items that interfere with the view on the side of the city road. And not far from piles, a woman wearing a purple dress and blue trousers was standing next to a pile of unused items. She seemed to be logging. Maybe she was the one who peeled up the unused stuff in front of the shop. At the back of the shop building are two other buildings. The first building, which is right behind the shop, is an apartment. In front of the apartment, there is a fairly large yard that is fenced with a wooden fence. In the yard, there are some green plants planted in it. If we look outside the apartment fence, a woman is wearing a pink shirt and orange trousers while holding a red bag in her hand, walking towards the edge of the city street. And behind the woman, a mother is wearing a pink polka-dot shirt with purple bottoms while carrying a tote bag while holding the hand of her toddler. He was also walking in the same direction, namely towards the city highway. Beside the apartment, there is a school building. The building looks majestic and big. In front of the schoolyard, there is a yard with some green plants, and also there are some garbage dumps. At the back between the school building and the apartment building, there is a railroad crossing which coincidentally at that time a train was passing. After the railroad crossing, there we can see the natural scenery in the form of a vast expanse of land with several hills and trees, and also a clear blue sky with an airplane passing by.
That's all my video. Thank you for your time and see you soon.